I have a channeled collective message here that I do want to share. It's another season of the drop off, the point in time where those who persevere live to see it through, while those who accept defeat fall down beneath. What will you choose? This season shows who is who. Most likely, if this video found you, confirmation, by the way, I'm not sure if you heard that notification. But if this video found you, more than likely, you are amongst those who persevere and live to see it through. Now, for some, you might not be as confident. Maybe you're a little shaky on the spectrum of who perseveres versus who accepts defeat. This video finds you because it's that life buoy, that SOS, that thing that keeps you afloat to remind you why you started. If this video finds you, it's because if you see this through, you will be amazed, astonished, and you'll be able to sit back and re examine and realign and see who is who. This will also bleed into relationships and show you who is who, those that persevere, those versus those who accept defeat, so that you can realign or tweak your team. You can try to help and rescue, but just know that that's energy that you can use for yourself. When you see others slipping near you, you can use your resources to assist them. Like how I am here in this video. This is my lifeline that I'm throwing out because I know that someone can really benefit from it. But you have to ask yourself, is it beneficial at all for you? Is it healthy at all for you? Do you really have the energy at all to toss it out there? Because I repeat, you can try to help and rescue, but just know that that's energy that you can use for you. How many times are you going to wait back for someone who doesn't want it bad enough to even catch up with you? How many times have you tried to motivate a man, but then realize that you can't motivate the man to stand? They got to want it bad enough. For example, you can waste your energy trying to pace a certain situation, or you can say that it doesn't naturally align and let it go so that it flows where it needs to. Or another example, you can waste your energy motivating the man to stand, but then realizing that you can't make him stand. Or you can save that energy for yourself and not try to motivate the man to stand because there's no guarantees in there. And as I wrote these messages down, my pen ran out of ink, literally. As I wrote down the last two examples, I wrote the pen running out of ink. And literally, by the time I wrote down pen and running, halfway through the word running, all you see is the impression of a pen. And it came back for just a moment. You can kind of see it here. You can see that there's something written here, and you can barely tell that there's something written in here. Okay. But you see, the pen slowly was running out of ink, and the pen came back for just a split second for this last message to say, what once was personal goes public. 21, Mercury, Venus. Beneath that is 27, Mercury, Neptune. Let's talk about it. Mercury has a lot to say to you. 21, this energy is coming through as like a complete firecracker. Like this is personified by fireworks. Don't be surprised if you see fireworks or some sort of large celebrations, or anything in relation to theme parks, um, big public celebrations, or even like 4th of July plans or mentions can be brought up. It's something shocking or surprising that pops up, and fireworks could be involved. That's a specific message for someone. But this says, when you speak or write, it is as though you have seamlessly integrated your own wisdom and vision with the ideal complementary views. You are utterly non defensive and welcoming in ways you think. You are a force for balance and harmony in every circumstance in which you have the opportunity to communicate with others. And 27, let's combine those messages. They're bringing me to the shadow attribute of this card, which reads, lost in your own bubble, you cannot see your way out of your own magical thinking in order to connect with others. To the evolved energy, stating, you are so informed and moved by divine knowing that you influence others to be more aware of their own connection to the divine. You're being called to reframe, rethink, reconsider the way in which you throw out the lifesaver, the buoy, the floating device. There's still something there. Something's just quite not right. There's a message here. Uh huh. Somehow that's evidence for proof of what I'm saying here. Stick with me to work through the energy. If you just heard that we got another notification, it's not the reminder for the first one. This is a whole different notification. Okay. And okay. Double Mercury mentioned, and that's it for repetition. And right now, I'm picking up on this headache energy. Okay, okay. So, what I just talked about, the firework, the sparks, the beautiful celebratory energy here that we were just talking about, the lovely way that you can communicate and interact with others. Now it's giving me a fucking headache. That's what's going on. You have to find a new way to help, to assist, to groove, move the energy because the old way is not working. So, the old way in which you used to throw out the lifesaver, the buoy, the floating device, whatever it is, we got to find a new method, a new way. You'll notice yourself growing tired or growing old quicker in these circumstances and situations. You'll find yourself having less patience. The fireworks aren't as fun, they aren't as bubbly. There's something here about that. So now we're going into the shadow attribute of this card and then working our way through. Yeah, that's where that headache is coming from. Because old way in which you would share your spark, your fire, your flame, it's not working because you've evolved. So now it's time to evolve your method in which you deliver. I said deliver as the mailman just drove by. Okay. So, in the shadow attribute, this says gossip rules both your thoughts and your communications. You thrive on a juicy junk food diet of tales about others, malfeasance, and misfortunes. I might have mispronounced that, but it's okay. And the other shadow attribute says you only talk and think about what you want and what you like. Your taste trumps those of all others, and you'll go on all day about your superior vision. So, this is the shadow of the transition. Okay, for you to heal this headache, you're going to have to accept the fact that it's okay to divulge in yourself, to do what's right and healthy for you. You will have to purge some beliefs, patterns, ways of existing in order to adjust to this. This will talk about the adaptive energy. This is the number 9, Sun, Neptune. Let's talk about it. Wow, I flipped right to it. Love to see it. It's clear that you don't know where you're going, that you feel a bit lost. You invite others to help you find your spiritual alignment so that you can be of service. Another adaptive message from this card states you are a mystic and dreamer who inspires and supports others to assess their mystical, dreamy selves, to access their mystical and dreamy selves. So we're going from this headache of an energy to figuring out how to soften it, to figure out how to, okay, because the old way in which you were going about communicating or helping or assisting or throwing out that buoy to assist others, it's become too heavy of a burden for you to bear. It's more troublesome and traumatic than it is helpful. So much so to where the rescues might not even be successful missions because we're not putting ourselves first to consider what form of rescue, what form of a mission works best for us. So that's what this Sun and Neptune energy is talking about. How to lighten the load for yourself by reading yourself, reading the room, reading your own energy to discover what way can I best assist, best help, because this is too heavy for me. And you are not responsible for holding any burdens. That is a figment of imagination if you think that you have to have burdens. It's false. And now let's get into the light attribute of this and how it comes out of this shining star energy to the number 24, which is right there. I didn't flip right to it, but it came up pretty quick. So this is 24 Mercury, Saturn. So you will be coming to conclusions fairly quickly in this matter. You see how the sun is shining so bright on this card? Let's talk about it. This is the evolved energy that you're coming into or are focused on. It says, focused, incisive, clear speech and thinking on your part leads others to want to be more disciplined in their communications. Also, it states that you exemplify inspired leadership in your writing, thinking, and speaking. Others are wowed by your capacity for laser like impeccable communication. So, there's a form of communication that you are meant to come into, a new way of communicating to get the message across, but in a way that is not so burdensome for you. It's okay for you to not want to carry everyone's problems or carry the load. You don't have to. You're not supposed to. That's a figment of imagination. Let's see what this is all about in the wrap up message, bottom of the deck, number 40. Flipped right to it, babes. It's okay to surrender to your flow, even if that doesn't look like what other people want from you. The expectations that other people put on you are none of your concern. So do what you have to do for you, and it will easily flow through and through. We're going to read the primitive aspect of this and then this other evolving aspect. This primitive aspect talks about the shadow side. So you identify with physical woundedness and vulnerability to such an extent that you use them as excuses not to participate in life. This is where the buoy is being called, where the help, the assistance is being called, and you see these things and you always jump to the rescue, but you need to change the way in which you're jumping to the rescue. Because how many times are you going to sacrifice yourself before you realize that you could have been further along and provided further assistance with more access, with more reach, had you sacrificed more of that energy for yourself. You could do more for others when you do the most for yourself. The evolved energy here says, having experienced great physical pain and suffering, you are an expert at helping others deal with their physical wounding and pain. However, this season here is showing you how important it is for you to recognize that your method of healing the wounds and the pain matters. The method in which it pulls from you, how much it takes from you, which means that you have to put yourself first to ask if you even have the bearings, the energy to help. Because sometimes the right thing to do is to simply help yourself. This reading is meant to lift a heavy burden off of the back of those that are viewing it. And I hope that it did just that. I am being called to pull some closing messages, and so I will be obedient. Ten of Pentacles, Six of Cups, and you are a badass being full of life, love, and possibilities. May you find a path to your best self. This is the point in time where you walk through the door to your own success, your own wealth, your own beliefs, your own morals. Despite people's expectations of you, you and your home, you're safe and you're good. And then you can worry about what's going on outside. This reading has found a group of warriors that needed to get their home front, their home base together first before they could really help or assist others. This has been a journey of many ups and downs for you, learning these difficult lessons, but this video finds you because congratulations. You take in the good from the lessons that you've learned and the ways and methods that were passed down to you. You've taken the best of what was given, no matter what that looks like. For some, we realize that we did not come as prepared as we thought, but there was still value in what we did come with. And so, combining the value that we did come with what we learn along the way, you find that badass you that's full of life, love, and possibilities. This is the path to your best self, and it doesn't look as selfless as you tried to think. Wow. Did you see how I picked up the whole deck with the Empress remains? You've come into your own collective. So now what comes next? Do not be afraid, but just simply be amazed.